These 9 good morning messages will make her think about you all day long. Psychology tricks. Here's a tough truth: most men's good morning texts make them seem weak, replaceable, and forgettable. They think long messages show effort, but all they do is hand over their power before the day even starts. The message they're sending is, "Please think about me. Please notice me." That desperation lingers far longer than any words could. Have you noticed how your good morning texts get flat replies while another man's brief words linger in her mind? It's not luck, it's psychology. The first message she reads in the morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. If your words lack strength and presence, she'll ignore them. It's not about how many words you send, it's about what they represent. A boy sends long paragraphs for approval. A man sends a single line that shifts her emotional state. The difference is in the man behind the message. Today, I'll give you 7 powerful good morning messages that will leave her thinking about you all day. And I'll show you how Stoic philosophy transforms these messages into expressions of strength, calm, and masculine presence. Remember, it's not the good morning, it's the man behind it. Morning is the moment when the mind is open and your words can shape her thoughts. If you come across weak, your message fades into the background. If you come across strong and calm, you become the thought she can't shake. Most men confuse attention with presence. They think effort is sending paragraphs and emojis, but women respond to signal, not noise. A true signal doesn't beg for attention, it commands it. Your good morning message should reflect strength, clarity, and discipline. It's not about the words, it's about the man who sends them. If your life is grounded and magnetic, even 2 words can echo in her mind. Now, I'll break down 9 powerful good morning messages, each a strategy, a reflection of your masculinity, and a psychological anchor. Master these, and you'll never send a weak text again. 1. The grounded reminder. Many men, when they first wake up, inadvertently pour weakness into their morning texts. They don't realize that in their eagerness to connect, they overcompensate. A typical message might sound like, "Good morning, beautiful. I hope you slept well. I can't stop thinking about you." What does this really communicate? It's not love. It's neediness disguised as romance. It's like saying, "I have nothing else going on in my life. You're the only thing that matters." Women can sense that desperation the moment they read those words. But here's the truth: a real man doesn't need to flood her with empty words. His strength lies in his ability to be restrained. His message isn't filled with emotional overkill. It's solid, concise, and grounded. A simple text like "Morning, stay sharp today" carries far more weight. It's not a plea for attention, it's a statement of presence. It exudes calm authority. It tells her, without saying it directly, that you're a man who doesn't need validation because you already have it within yourself. This is where psychology tricks come into play. Female psychology is wired to respond to certainty, confidence, and strength. When you send a short, grounded message like this, you're signaling that you are stable, not desperate. You are a man who already knows where he's headed, who owns his day and his life. You are not asking for her attention, you are asserting your own presence, which is magnetic. When you send this type of message, you're not only showing respect for yourself, but also creating a sense of safety and attraction for her. Women crave this kind of energy because it stands out from the typical, needy behavior they often encounter. It creates polarity, a sense of distance that draws her in rather than pushing her away. By demonstrating emotional control, you show that you are a man who is not easily shaken. In contrast, when a man floods her with desperate texts, it shows the opposite. He's fragile, seeking constant reassurance. And the truth is, women are more attracted to a man who has his own life, his own direction. A man who isn't afraid to stand still and hold his ground. This is what makes you stand out. You don't need to say much. Your words are enough when you carry them with strength. So, the next time you want to send a morning text, think about the energy you're sending out. Are you asking for attention or giving off a sense of grounded strength? The subtle difference is what makes all the difference in creating attraction. You don't need to write long messages. You need to master the power of few words and use them with purpose. Remember, the key to winning over any woman isn't about how many words you say, but how you say them. Be grounded. Be confident. Be the man who leads, not the man who chases. That's what will make her think about you all day long. It's not about being needy, it's about being a man who knows his worth. 2. The subtle challenge. Here's where most men go wrong. They believe women want comfort first thing in the morning. They think that showering her with endless compliments or reassuring affirmations will make her feel desired and secure. But here's the truth: comfort without challenge kills attraction. A woman doesn't dream about the man who acts like a teddy bear, always ready to soothe her and make her feel safe. No, she dreams about the man who stirs her blood. She wants the man who pushes her, who challenges her to rise to her potential, who makes her want to be better. That's why the subtle challenge is so powerful. Instead of feeding her ego, you're testing it. You're giving her a message that doesn't just wish her well, but demands something from her. Think about it. A message like, "Morning, don't let today beat you. You're tougher than that," may sound simple, but it carries weight. It's not sweet or needy, it's strong. It plants the idea that you see her as capable and that you expect more from her than the world does. You're framing her as someone who can rise above, someone who deserves the challenge. And let's be honest, that expectation is intoxicating. The psychology behind this is simple but profound. Human beings rise to the standards that others set for them. When a man sets a challenge, he frames himself as a leader, someone whose approval must be earned. This shifts the dynamics entirely. Instead of her being the prize you're desperately chasing, you become the prize, the man whose respect she is eager to win. This isn't just about playing hard to get. This is about being a high-value man, the kind of man who doesn't settle for mediocrity and who demands the best from the people around him. This doesn't mean being harsh or cold, but it's about showing your strength and leadership in the way you communicate. You're not sending a message that you're desperate for her attention. You're showing that you're confident, self-sufficient, and grounded in your masculine energy. You're someone who doesn't need validation from her. Instead, she's the one who needs to prove herself worthy of your time and attention. Attracting women isn't about begging for affection or constantly trying to please. It's about showing your value by living with purpose and challenging both yourself and the woman you're interested in. When you give a message that pushes her to rise to the occasion, you create an environment where she feels motivated and driven to be better for you. And here's something even deeper. Women are naturally attracted to men who challenge them in this way. Why? Because it appeals to their sense of growth. It taps into their desire for a partner who not only supports them, but also pushes them beyond their limits. When you set the bar high, you become the one who stands out. Your words carry weight, and she begins to see you as someone worth investing in. When a woman has to earn your respect, she will work to do so, and that effort leads to deeper attraction. This kind of masculine energy isn't about controlling her or making her feel inferior. It's about showing up as a man who has standards, a man who values himself enough to expect the same from others. It's about being the kind of man who doesn't chase after validation, but who creates a world where women, and people in general, are motivated to rise to the occasion and earn his respect. So, next time you send her a message, think about how you can challenge her, not just with your words, but with your actions and expectations. Set the tone for your relationship early on. Show her that you're a man of strength, that you're a high-value man who doesn't need to beg for attention or validation. Let her see that she's in the presence of someone who knows his worth and expects the same from those around him. You want to attract women? Don't cower or play it safe. Be bold. Be confident. Be the challenge that makes her want to rise to the occasion. When you become the prize, you create a dynamic where respect is earned, not given. That's how you create lasting attraction, and that's how you win the game. 3. The mystery line. Let's get one thing straight. Most men are getting it wrong when it comes to sending texts. They pour their hearts out, hoping to win her over with the flood of words they share. They tell her everything: how much they care, how much they miss her, how much they wish she would think of them. But here's the hard truth. The more you spell everything out, the less she thinks about you. Why is that? Because desire thrives on mystery, not certainty. It's simple. The more you reveal, the less space there is for her mind to wonder, for her to feel that spark of curiosity. You need to master the art of leaving a gap, of not giving her everything she wants. Mystery is the currency of attraction, and you, my friend, must learn to trade in it. Here's where the magic happens: the mystery line. A line so simple, yet powerful, that it forces her mind to work. Instead of writing a long paragraph of reassurance or pouring your emotions onto her screen, you say just enough to make her question, to make her wonder. For instance, a simple line like, "This day will tell me something about you." Notice the beauty in this. It's short, it's to the point, but it leaves her wondering, what does he mean? What is he seeing that I don't see? Suddenly, you're no longer just another guy sending a text. You're a mystery, a puzzle she's itching to solve. You've turned her into an active participant in your connection. The psychology behind this is rooted in the Zygarnik effect, a concept from Old Stoic wisdom. It's a psychological principle that states that unfinished thoughts linger in the mind much longer than completed ones. When you send a message that leaves her with questions, you create an open loop in her brain. Her mind can't help but try to finish the thought, and in doing so, she'll replay it over and over, drawing her attention back to you. This isn't some accidental trick. It's a carefully crafted technique to build intrigue. You don't have to be the loudest man in the room to be the most powerful. Instead, you use restraint, leaving space for her imagination. And that is a power the average man can never touch. Think about it. The greatest minds in history, those who mastered relationships, leadership, and personal mastery, understood the power of the unspoken. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that true strength lies in discipline, control, and most of all, in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. A high-value man doesn't need to fill every moment with words. He lets his actions speak louder than his texts. But here's the key: it's not just about leaving a gap, it's about controlling the tension in the gap. When you withhold just enough information, you send a message that says, "I'm not desperate for your attention, but I know my worth, and I'll give you just enough to keep you interested." And that's exactly the mindset you must have. Let me remind you, your goal is not to be liked, your goal is to attract. Attraction isn't built on predictability. It's built on an iron mind, the ability to stay calm and deliberate, to master your emotions, and to let her see you as a man of depth and mystery. A man who isn't afraid to leave her wondering. And here's the final truth you must learn: desire is born from distance, from not knowing every little thing about someone. When you give her the space to fill in the blanks, you make her see you in a different light. You stop being an option. You become a challenge. The next time you think about sending a text, remember this: make her think, make her wonder, and let her imagination bring her closer to you. When you master the art of mystery, you won't need to chase after her. She'll chase after you. The Stoics were masters of this very concept. They understood that true strength doesn't come from over-explaining, but from self-restraint and calm authority. You, too, must practice that same discipline. Master your emotions, own your power, and never underestimate the power of mystery. And don't forget, iron mind, stoic calm, and the art of leaving her wanting more. Those are the qualities that make you stand out in a crowded world. Now go out there and practice. If you found this insight valuable, comment below, and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful psychology tips. Comment to remember, I am a mystery she can't forget. 4. The silent image. When it comes to making an impression that lasts, many men fall into the trap of thinking that sending long, heartfelt messages will leave a lasting impact. They overthink, overmessage, and ultimately, they reveal an underlying neediness. The truth is, the more you type, the more you risk diminishing the power of your presence. The psychology here is clear. Excess words can weaken your image, while silence, or minimalism, carries the strength of self-assurance. In fact, the silent image is one of the most powerful psychology tricks in the world of attraction. As human beings, we are visual creatures. Our brains process images 60,000 times faster than text. This means a single powerful picture has the potential to burn itself into a person's memory more deeply than 1,000 words ever could. When you send her a morning message, why not consider an image that reflects who you truly are? an image that's not laced with desperation or neediness, but one that represents strength, calm, and mystery. It's not about your face on a screen, sending signals of insecurity. No, it's about the subtle messages you send through the choices you make. By sending an image of something grounded, raw, and timeless, you immediately communicate that you're a man who sees the world differently, a man who understands the power of presence, not words. Female psychology shows that women are attracted to men who exhibit mystery, strength, and confidence. It's these qualities that will make her think about you long after the message is received. So, the next time you think about sending that long, elaborate text, ask yourself, does this reflect the man I want to be? You see, psychology tricks like the silent image are far more effective than most men realize. They let you step into your masculine energy, exuding a sense of calm that is magnetic. By being selective with your words and choosing an image that speaks volumes without a single word, you not only avoid the trap of neediness, but you also set yourself apart from the crowd. When you use silence strategically, it creates curiosity. Women are drawn to men who don't feel the need to constantly be in communication. They're drawn to men who are confident enough in themselves to let silence speak for them. You must learn to master the art of the silent image, allowing your presence to do all the talking. This technique is more than just a psychological trick, it's an embodiment of your inner strength and confidence. It's not about playing games, it's about showing her that you understand the deeper layers of attraction and that you are a man who commands respect without demanding it. So don't just send her a text full of words, send her an image that says, I am a man of substance, and I see the world through a different lens. Remember, female psychology isn't about constant validation or attention. It's about creating space for her to come to you. By using the silent image, you're not just sending a picture, you're creating an experience that she'll remember and reflect on throughout the day. In conclusion, don't underestimate the power of a well-chosen image. It's not just a photo, it's a statement. It's a representation of who you are, and it's a psychology trick that speaks louder than any word could. The silent image allows you to communicate effortlessly, capturing her attention in a way that few men can. Be the man who understands the deeper principles of attraction. Be the man who can leave a lasting impression without saying a word. You must learn to let your presence do the talking. 5. The frame setter. Here's where most men lose the game. They think the purpose of a good morning message is to center her. They revolve around her like a planet orbiting the sun, pouring energy into her day while having none of their own. But that's weakness, and it's exactly why they're being forgotten. A high-value man does not orbit. He sets the orbit. He doesn't lose himself in her frame. He establishes his own. He becomes the sun, and she becomes the planet. Instead of chasing her attention, he leads with his own mission, showing that his life is in motion, with or without her. You see, masculine energy isn't about constant validation. It's not about begging for her attention or proving your worth. It's about confidently presenting yourself as the man you are, with your own goals and purpose. Women are attracted to men who are centered, not those who are lost in their pursuit of approval. When you start your day with the mindset of a man who is focused on his path, it's magnetic. The key to this mindset? You must become a frame setter. A frame setter is a man who has clarity on his own life. He doesn't need to ask her about her plans, he states his own. When he sends a good morning text, he doesn't beg for her time or attention. Instead, he reveals what he's already committed to, and in doing so, he invites her into his world, not the other way around. For example, a text like, morning, training at 7, meetings stacked after, win the day. It's simple, direct, and complete. No apologies, no fluff. It communicates everything you need to know. I'm a man on a mission, and my life is moving forward, with or without you. A high-value man knows that his energy isn't something to waste. His energy flows into his purpose. Every decision he makes, every action he takes, is in line with that purpose. This doesn't mean ignoring her. It means that you don't depend on her for validation. She should feel like you're someone she wants to invest in, not someone she needs to carry. Imagine the masculine energy required to stand strong in this frame. A man who isn't rushing to fit himself into her world, but instead presents his own, with confidence and direction. This is what makes you attractive. Attracting women is not about trying to please or perform. It's about letting her see that your life is complete with or without her. She will be drawn to you because your life is already on its own track. If you find yourself always wondering what she's doing, overthinking her responses, or becoming anxious when she doesn't text you back immediately, stop. That's the opposite of being a frame setter. You're abandoning your mission and relying on her to fill the void. You need to establish your own orbit. The goal here is to show her that your life is rich and full and that you have your own direction. When you send a good morning text, make it clear you're not looking to be the center of her world, but you are the center of your own. Show her that your mission is so powerful, it's irresistible. That's what makes you a man of value, a high value man who doesn't beg for attention, but commands respect through his actions and purpose. Remember, a frame setter isn't asking for permission. He's living his life with intensity and passion, and he makes no excuses for it. Be the man on a mission. Don't wait for her to validate your existence. Show her that you're already living the life you've designed for yourself. You don't need her approval, but if she's smart, she'll want to be a part of your world. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. 6. The playful tease. The playful tease is a powerful tool in the game of attraction, and it holds a secret that many men forget. Attraction isn't built solely on strength, but on contrast. It's about balance. You can be grounded, serious, disciplined, but if you lack playfulness, you risk becoming too heavy, too predictable. Remember, heaviness alone doesn't magnetize, it weighs down any potential connection. Women are naturally drawn to a man who embodies control, yet knows how to lighten the mood. In the world of attraction, the ability to seamlessly shift between authority and humor is what makes a man truly unforgettable. Think of this as a refined art, the playful tease. It's not about over-the-top compliments or meaningless romantic gestures that feel forced. Instead, it's about injecting lightness and authority into the conversation. You challenge her in a way that shows confidence, humor, and control all in one breath. It's the ultimate balance, a combination of stoic strength and playful energy. Consider this. Instead of endless compliments that don't land, drop a playful line. A subtle challenge. Try not to cause chaos before noon. I'm counting on you. It's not needy. It's not desperate. It's confident. It's playful authority, all wrapped up in a way that draws her in. This method allows you to take the lead without smothering or overwhelming her. This is how you create intrigue. The Old Stoic wisdom teaches us the importance of inner balance. Like the Stoics, we must master our emotions, and yet, we also need to understand the power of lightness in our approach to relationships. Ironically, playfulness is a tool of strength. The ability to tease and create a challenge, not out of desperation, but from a grounded place of power, is what makes you magnetic. It's an essential skill in any healthy, dynamic relationship. The key to making this work is control, but not the kind that feels stifling. Instead, it's control that gives room for humor, playfulness, and the unexpected. You must cultivate the skill to be serious when needed and playful when necessary, keeping the energy dynamic and magnetic. This blend of stoicism and humor will set you apart as a high-value man, one who can command respect and spark intrigue. Remember, the playful tease is not a trick or manipulation. It's an expression of control, discipline, and awareness. It's part of the broader mindset that helps you build emotional mastery. Through this, you will embody both strength and charm, much like the Stoics of old. They knew that to be truly magnetic, one must not only command authority, but also allow space for spontaneity and fun. It's this balance that creates the emotional attraction we all seek. So, in your next interaction, don't forget this important principle. Lightness in the form of playful teasing can be the key that unlocks deeper attraction. As you engage with women, remember that they crave the man who holds authority in one breath, but can drop a playful challenge in the next. It's this balance of seriousness and playfulness that makes you stand out, that makes you irresistible. You must always be mindful of this. Be the man who brings both the power of Stoicism and the charm of humor. When you master this balance, you create not just attraction, but a lasting connection built on respect, energy, and real emotional magnetism. Let this lesson guide you as you navigate your relationships. 7. The timeless Stoic note. When it comes to sending good morning texts, most men opt for the usual messages, relying on emojis and shallow compliments. But there is a rare breed of man who rises above the ordinary, sending words that transcend the moment. These are the messages that don't fade away when the day passes, but linger in her mind, leaving a lasting impression. These aren't just good morning texts, they're seeds planted in her thoughts that grow and blossom into something deeper, something meaningful. To stand out in her inbox, it's not about trying to impress her with sweet, overused words or meaningless flattery. It's about sending a message that expands her world, ignites her curiosity, and connects her to something timeless. This is where you differentiate yourself and become more than just another face in the crowd. The key to mastering the art of sending these profound texts lies in wisdom, not in the effort to be overly charming or perfect. Wisdom is the magnet that draws her in and makes her think about you long after she's read your message. This is the essence of the timeless Stoic note, a simple yet powerful message that touches the heart and mind. Instead of simply wishing her a good day, send her something that sparks introspection, something that challenges her to think differently. A quote or thought that isn't just a compliment, but a call to action for her mind. For example, instead of texting, "I hope you have a good day," consider saying, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What color are you painting today? These aren't just words, they are a challenge to her worldview, a call to take ownership of her thoughts and actions. Incorporating these types of messages into your daily routine doesn't only show that you care, but also that you value depth and growth. Women are drawn to men who lead with insight and wisdom, and when you send messages that appeal to her intelligence and soul, you are not just being a good man, you're being the kind of man who is unforgettable. This is how you become the man who stays in her mind all day, the man whose words echo in her thoughts. So, how do you send a timeless Stoic note? It's simpler than you think. Focus on the essence of wisdom, truth, and reflection. You don't need to overcomplicate things with philosophical quotes or long messages. Instead, think about offering her a simple, thought provoking sentence that will make her pause and reflect. Remember, female psychology shows that women are attracted to men who can expand their mental and emotional horizons, and the key to doing that is to offer something more than just surface level conversation. You don't need to send a text that's full of flattery or attempts at humor. Instead, send the message that calls her to look deeper into herself and the world around her. This is how you keep her thinking about you long after the conversation ends. To be clear, this isn't about trying to force a connection or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about becoming the man who challenges her thinking, who inspires her, and who leaves a lasting mark on her life. It's about understanding female psychology and using it to craft messages that resonate with her emotionally and intellectually. The timeless Stoic note isn't about impressing her, it's about inspiring her to be more, think more, and connect with you on a deeper level. So the next time you're about to send her a message, ask yourself, what wisdom can I share? What thought can I provoke? Instead of sending a fleeting good morning text, send something that will remain in her mind long after the morning is over. That's how you become the man who leaves a mark on her heart and her thoughts. You become the man who knows how to fall in love, not just with her, but with life, with wisdom, and with the timeless truths that guide both. Realize this. It's not about sending a text. It's about sending something that stays with her long after the message is read. You're not just a man in her inbox. You're the man who makes her think. Comment below with this. I send messages that stay with her beyond the moment. 8. Silent confidence. Many men believe that displaying confidence means talking a lot, filling every silence with words. But here's a truth most miss. The most powerful confidence often comes from silence. It's not about speaking endlessly to prove your worth. It's about letting your actions and your very presence speak louder than words. A truly confident man doesn't need to announce his value. His existence does that effortlessly. If you want to stand out, don't try to fill every moment with chatter. Sometimes a single, simple message can do the job more effectively than paragraphs of praise. A message like, "Morning, I trust you'll make today count." It's not flashy. It's not desperate. It's grounded. And in its simplicity, it carries immense power. With that one line, you're not just wishing her a good day. You're showing her that you believe in her, and more importantly, that your belief in yourself and your path is unshakable. This is the essence of silent confidence. When you send a message like that, you're not just filling the space with words. You're creating a space where your presence speaks louder than anything you could say. She doesn't need to hear endless praise or grand declarations. She can feel the depth of your confidence in the quiet assurance you offer her. And more importantly, she senses your self-assurance. You've already shown her that you don't need validation from anyone, least of all her. Your words aren't screaming for attention. They resonate with subtlety, leaving an imprint that lingers long after the message is sent. When you allow silence to fill the space around you, it speaks volumes about your certainty. A man who doesn't feel the need to talk constantly about his worth is a man who is rooted in his own sense of value. And this is what attracts women, men who are so grounded in themselves that they don't need to seek constant approval. They know who they are and they trust in their journey. This kind of man doesn't have to prove anything. This is the kind of man who stands tall in his masculine energy undeniable and unwavering. It's not about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about being authentically confident in who you are. A man who can walk into a room and command attention without saying a word. You don't need to fill the silence with endless words because your presence already speaks volumes. Don't underestimate the power of silence in creating attraction. Your ability to be silent, to not feel the need to fill every conversation with noise, is a testament to your inner strength and self-assurance. This is how you plant yourself firmly in her thoughts. You don't need to scream for attention because your silence speaks louder than words ever could. And that's the kind of man she'll never forget. In the end, it's not about impressing her with empty words. It's about showing her through your actions and presence that you are a man of substance. A man who knows his worth without having to explain it. You are a high-value man who attracts women with your silent strength, not your need to be heard. Your masculine energy isn't about noise or bravado. It's about quiet power, rooted in a deep self-belief. This is the kind of confidence that stays with her long after the conversation ends. The kind of confidence that makes her think about you all day, because it's real. It's solid. And it's unforgettable. 9. Relentless pursuit of purpose. A man with a clear sense of purpose is a man who commands attention. When you live with intention, you don't need anyone's validation, least of all hers. Women are attracted to men who know where they're going and how to get there. Your actions, your words, everything you do reflects that inner drive. That is what makes you magnetic. Now, think about this. Imagine sending a simple yet powerful message in the morning. Something like, "Morning," focused and moving forward. It's short, it's direct, and it says everything she needs to know. It communicates that your life is already in motion. You have goals, intentions, and a relentless pursuit of purpose that no one, not even her, can derail. You're not sitting around waiting for her to fill a void. Your momentum is unstoppable. What this message says to her is more powerful than you think. It says, "I am not just another guy hoping for your attention. My life is moving full speed ahead, and if you want to be a part of it, you need to keep up." Women crave momentum. They want to feel stability, direction, and strength in a man. When they see that you have it, they will naturally want to join you on your journey. But here's the shift. Stop seeking validation. Stop sending messages asking her what she's doing or what her plans are. Instead, set the tone with a message that reflects your drive and ambition. When she sees you moving forward without needing her approval, she won't just think about you. She'll wonder how she can be part of your success. And that curiosity? It's magnetic. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This is the essence of living with purpose. Don't wait for permission to pursue your path. The world will follow once they see the strength of your intentions. Every message you send, every step you take should reflect your direction and purpose. No more wishy-washy texts that leave her guessing. Let her see that you are the man who knows what he wants and is relentless in pursuing it. When you start living with this iron mind, you will exude an unshakable confidence that draws people, especially women, into your world. They won't just see a man, they'll see a leader, someone who is unstoppable. When you move forward with purpose, you become a force of nature. Remember, life is about momentum. The more you push forward, the more others will want to be part of that journey. And that's when you become a man she will think about all day long. Keep that momentum alive. Keep living with purpose. The key is to embody the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism win is about finding peace in the pursuit of your goals, trusting in your own strength, and building the life you desire. With an iron mind, you can achieve anything. Stay focused, move forward, and remember, the journey is yours to lead. Hey there, thank you for watching. Now, let me leave you with this. These 9 good morning messages are not just tricks or magic. They reflect who you truly are. If you carry yourself with strength, discipline, and authenticity, these words will stick with her all day long. But if you're coming from a place of neediness, they'll disappear just as fast as they're sent. So here's the challenge. Head to the comments and type, "My words carry weight." This is the standard you should set for yourself. Your words are powerful. They're not just noise. They reflect your presence, your frame, your masculinity. And remember, when your words carry weight, even a simple message will make a lasting impression. If you're ready to become the kind of man who leaves an unforgettable mark, hit that subscribe button. This isn't just a channel. It's a brotherhood, and every week, we forge men into unstoppable forces. Here's the truth. A boy texts to be noticed. A man texts because he already is. Be that man.